So I've made a game in 1 month, 1 week, 48 hours, but what happens when I make a game in 24 hours? My name is Mav and I'm making one game every month, so if you want to be part of the game dev journey, make sure to subscribe. First, let's set some rules for the challenge. The game has to be made in under 24 hours, well, obviously, but see, the country I live in only has electricity for 4 hours a day, but I kind of like use those 2 hours playing Sekiro, or at least trying to. But with that out of the way, let us begin. I started by coming up with a game idea, and the idea I came up with was inspired from a game I used to play where you play as this guy who has the ability to switch gravity. I really liked this game cause when I was in high school, me and the boys used to skip class just to play this game. But stay in school, kids. Yes, you guessed it, this game is no other than G-Switch. So this is a fairly simple game to make. I started by making the player which is represented by this cube, and after writing some code we made him be able to switch gravity. That's not switching gravity, we kind of made Flappy Bird. You know what, let's just make Flappy Bird and call it a day, am I right? Fine, I'll fix it. Okay, I'm done. It's switching gravity just like we wanted. You happy? So, I know two types of gravity switching games. We have Gravity Guy, the one that started it all, and G-Switch. Now, the difference between these two games is, in Gravity Guy you just run in a straight path and switch gravity up and down, while there's this hunter guy chasing you, and if he catches you, then you lose. But in G-Switch you can run up and down caves, changing the way you shift the direction of gravity. Also, there's no hunter who chases you, but if the camera leaves you behind, you lose, or if you're caught by one of these spinning saws. The first route I chose was to make the player run up slopes, and what I can say is that the player running up slopes and changing gravity means you've got to know some math, and when you're bad at maths, this happens. Who needs math anyways? So I threw the slopes idea in the trash and just made the player run in a straight direction. Afterwards, I moved on to building a level and making dangerous spikes which will play a big role later in the game. Now, for the art style of the game. Almost all my games use pixel art, but that would take too much time. So to make the art quick, I went for a minimalistic polygon look like Thomas was alone. I drew up my tile set, which is just this single cube, and made the level out of that. So here's a montage of me making the level. I started adding color to the game to make it look better. I also started adding some background details just to make the game look, you know, okay, see for yourself. Isn't that nice? To make the game look even better, I added some lights, but something happened halfway through making the game look good. Wait, what happened? I think I broke the game. It's not working. For some reason. But after like an hour of tweaking code and retweaking, I found the problem. Within an hour wasted, all for 2 letters of code. Pro tip, make sure you know how to use your if, else, and elif statements, guys. And since it's almost Christmas, I thought, you know, let me add something for the kids, like some snow. But at first it looked like we are playing through a blizzard. But I managed to make it look like snow eventually. But sometimes having hundreds of particles being rendered even while off camera slows down the game. But we don't have time for optimization, we only have 24 hours. So at first the movement felt a bit bad. Okay, a lot bad. It was time to add some of those quality of life things that make games less frustrating to play, like coyote jump and jump buffering. What's coyote jump and what's jump buffering? Well, I'm glad you asked. Coyote jump comes from the Roadrunner show, where the coyote runs off a cliff but only starts falling down after some time, or after he looks down for some reason. In games, we use this to give the player a split second longer to jump by allowing the player to jump even after leaving the ground. Jump buffering is when the player hits a jump button a split second before landing on the ground, saving the input and executing it immediately they land on the ground, avoiding situations where you feel like you just timed your jump perfectly but the player didn't jump. But after adding these things, the game still felt off. So I gave my brother to playtest the game and we noticed something. So the raycast, which we used to check for collisions with the ground, was in front of the player, which would leave the ground before the actual player does, and that would make it seem like the player is not on the ground. So to fix this, I moved the raycast behind the player and the movement felt great. It's now time for the less fun parts of game dev like UI and adding win areas and death areas. For some reason, the UI wasn't working and it took longer than I expected to finish. When I got it working, I moved on to making the next level, but I noticed that time was running out. So I just made level 2 and added it to level 1 to make everything one big level. With only a few hours left, it was time to lock in and finish the game. I made a promise to myself to add sounds to my games, so I started looking for sounds on JSFXR. That's a website I used to look for sounds, and found some which sounded cool at first, but now, because I've heard them so many times, I prefer playing the game on mute. And for some final touches, I added this square pattern background, but I don't know if it's too distracting. Let me know in the comments. Another important part of the game is of course the menu. So I started cooking up a menu, and I feel like as time has gone by, I'm getting better at picking out colors. Then these colors just make you feel good. In Godot, I animated the menu a bit to make it look more lively. I made sure to take my time on the menu because this time I wanted to make it look good. According to my YouTube analytics, only 7.2% of you are subscribed, so hit that subscribe button to support the channel. And with everything done, I now have a full game made in under 24 hours. I published the game on itch.io and even added touch controls because I noticed that some of you watch my videos on mobile. I would love to put my game on Play Store, but you need a Play Store license and that costs $25. So until I buy one, you can only play my games on itch.io. I'm not sure if my game works on Apple because I couldn't check since I don't have an iPhone, but if you have one, let me know in the comments. And for the people who watch my videos on TVs, sorry for now because I don't think it works on TVs, and the only way I'm making a game on TV is if this video gets, I don't know, 1,000 likes or something. And for those who have been following the 1 game per month challenge, you might have noticed that I didn't release a video for the game in October. I did make a game, but I didn't finish it in time because of the unpredictable electricity schedule. So I will make a video about that later. And in December, I'm planning on making a Christmas themed game. So leave your ideas in the comments below, and trust me, I read all my comments. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. It would really help a lot if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so that this video can reach more people. And if you can't play the game, here's some gameplay footage of a playthrough. And remember guys, stay safe friend, and don't you dare go hollow. Goodbye.